Hello student, welcome to Standard 10th History and Political Science. We were studying Political Science Part 3, Chapter 3, Political Parties. In the previous lecture, we have studied the national parties. The question is how the national parties and the regional parties gets its recognition. Let us try to understand it. To get recognition as the national party, the Election Commission has prescribed the following conditions. Number one, a political party should secure minimum 6% of the valid votes in 4 or more states in the earlier Lok Sabha or state assembly, and minimum 4 members should be elected in the Lok Sabha from any state or states in the earlier election. Which means, my dear student, that 6% valid votes they should get, and minimum 4 members from different states. It should get elected to Lok Sabha. If not this, then the candidate of the party should be elected from minimum 2% constituencies out of the total Lok Sabha constituencies and from minimum 3 seats. So here 2% of the total Lok Sabha constituencies. So we have 543 constituencies. 2% of that becomes 10 seats. So at least 10 seats or minimum 3 seats they get elected, and then only this party will consider as the national party. In the same way, to get recognition as a regional party, the Election Commission has prescribed the following conditions. A political party should secure minimum 6% of valid votes in the earlier Lok Sabha or state assembly elections, and minimum 2 members should be elected in the Vidhan Sabha. Vidhan Sabha means state assembly. We have 28 states, so in the different 28 states, different seats are there, but among that 2 members minimum should get elected, or a political party should secure minimum 3% of seats out of the total seats of Vidhan Sabha. So let us take the example of Maharashtra Vidhan Sabha. Maharashtra has 279 seats in all. Out of that, 3% should get elected. So then only this party will be considered as the party, state party recognition as the regional party. So we have seen how the national parties and the regional parties are considered. They are given permission by the Election Commission, and then how do they function. So let us move further. That here we can see few news. You must be reading different news in newspapers. Through this news item, we get information about various parties existing in different states of India. Do these parties function only at state level? Some parties lead, some state leaders are influential at national level, while some have influence only at state level. Why is it so? So some parties functions at state level. On the other hand, some party functions at national level. So the parties which functions at national level, they are called as national parties, and at state level, the parties which they are functioning, they are considered as regional parties. So with the help of such questions, we will try to get information about various regional parties in India. We will study some of the regional parties from different parts of India. In India, we find people speaking different languages and having different traditions and culture. They belong to different parts of India. We see different regions have their own languages. You have already studied different geographical regions in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, there exists geographical and cultural diversity. So we have Marathwada, Vidarbha, Konkan. So such different geographical divisions are there in Maharashtra. Maharashtra is different from Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka. So in Maharashtra we speak Marathi, Madhya Pradesh Hindi, and Karnataka Telugu. So in this way differences are there. The feeling of affinity developed about our language and region gradually turns into the identity consciousness and finally gives rise to regionalism. So, regionalism, that I belong to Maharashtra, she belongs to Karnataka. So, these differences we say uh, it is called regionalism. People start thinking primarily about the interest and development of their own region. Obviously, when you are from Jammu Kashmir, then you feel proud of your region, and someone is from Odisha, he feels proud of his own region. They start feeling proud of their language, literature, traditions, history, of social reforms, educational and cultural movements, and this gives rise to the development of linguistic identity. So the people who speaks Gujarati are from Gujarat, and uh, people who speaks from Tamil Nadu, Tamil, they are from Tamil Nadu. So this linguistic identity is formed. Regional identity develops from the consciousness about the development of region and the feeling that people belonging to the region should have claim over sources and employment opportunities. So, for example, if you go to Delhi from Maharashtra and you speak Marathi, Maharashtrian, and when you go to Delhi and if you come across a person who is speaking in Marathi, you automatically go approach to him, you speak to him. That is because he is from Maharashtra and you are from Maharashtra. In the same way, if we go abroad and someone speaks Hindi and you hear that, then automatically we meet him and are you from India, and then we feel proud of each other. So when linguistic, regional, cultural, and other identities get connected, regional consciousness emerged. It emerges as a stronger feeling. Sometimes it gives rise to independent political parties or pressure groups or movements. So, movements are formed, pressure groups are formed, or even political parties. All such development aims at the protection of the interest of the region. So, uh, I still remember when the Shiv Sena party was formed. It was mainly formed to promote promotion of Marathi language and resistance of the people against the Marathi to oppose them. So in this way it was formed. So this feeling develops that this region belongs to me, and I should feel proud of that, and I must protect my region. So let us study now a few regional parties.